Hey, what's going on, my good people? Yeah, I got a lot of emails about the case of Christina Nance out of Huntsville, Alabama. And I know a lot of people got a lot of opinions. And in this video right here, I'm going to give you mine. So, we're going to look at a couple things. Come on, ride with me.
A camera on top of Huntsville Police Headquarters captured this tragic situation. Christina Nance went inside this unlocked Huntsville police van on September 25th, trapping herself inside.
Christina Nance was a 29-year-old black woman from Huntsville, Alabama. And sometime in early October, she was found dead inside of a police van. And that shook a lot of people because it was like, how in the world did she end up in there? And most importantly, what killed her? So I think that it's important that we start with the timeline. Christina's family came out and told us that they had last seen her on September the 27th, which was a Monday. And by that Saturday, which was October the 2nd, they had reported her missing. They hadn't seen her. But the problem is, once Christina's body was found in the back of that van, when police ran back the surveillance footage, they found that Christina entered that van on September the 25th, that Saturday. So by October the 2nd, the family reported her missing, and she had been missing for a whole week. Okay?
Police investigators say there is video of Nance walking around the lot and sitting on the hood of a police car and approaching other parked unoccupied vehicles for about 10 minutes. One thing to note is the video feed is unmonitored, and it's hard to tell, but police say Nance entered the unlocked police van through the rear door and that there was still movement in the van through the 28th. Nance was reported missing on October 2nd.
Huntsville police gave us this video surveillance from September the 25th, that Saturday. And they said it was around 12:30 in the afternoon. Okay? And in that video, you could clearly see her moving around in this parking lot. So I wanted to get a visual of the area. And so I went to Google Maps. And do y'all know when I got on there, that exact van is on there? It's in Google Maps. Here the images right here. Same van. And this picture right here shows where the van is in relation to the building, where the camera's at. And so I think because there's a little bit of distance between there is why maybe the footage doesn't seem so clear to everybody.
Like everything was blurry. Like I don't even know if that was my sister.
We are still unsure of how our sister Christina Nance died in the van. That was not stated or pointed out in the video. All the video shown was Christina entering the van.
And we didn't see that. Between the three of them, it's not just saying they don't think that's their sister.
Okay, so wait a minute. So if the body of Christina was found in this van, and then there is footage of a person walking around in the parking lot of this police station, walking around, being seen by the van, because they didn't show her going into the van. They showed her near the van. I mean, but as far as I'm concerned, 2 + 2 = 4. That's her. Okay? It's her. So as far as I'm concerned, that was Christina walking around in that parking lot. And there was also her who entered the van. And it looks like she was by herself. Now, police went as far as telling us that she was seen going into the van or seen near the van on September the 25th, and that there was movement in that van all the way up until Tuesday, September the 28th. They said that they could see these windows on the van opening and closing. Okay? And we don't know if she was calling for help. We don't know. But there was movement all the way up until the 28th. So is it safe to assume that she died on the 28th? That means she was in that van for 3 days alive. Now, we don't know exactly what was going on with Christina, but based off of her actions prior to getting in that van, when we seen her walking around the parking lot, and they said at one point laid in the bushes, and then she was sitting on a police car, and I mean, clearly something's going on with her mentally. Something is going on with her at that very moment. Know that. When Christina entered that van, she found herself locked in a van that she could not get out of. The police came out and told us that that van was designed to carry prisoners. Therefore, once you're in there, you cannot get out. Somebody have to let you out. Okay? And it's unfortunate that she ended up trapped inside this van. And they said that she was in there moving around for 3 days. On October the 7th, they found her body. But one of the questions that I had was, like, why was she hollering for help? And they was telling us that people were in and out of this parking lot and things like that. But even if you look at the distance and where this van was situated, I mean, maybe they didn't hear her. Maybe she did holler, but they just didn't hear her. Okay? And then, as an adult, I would think that your one of your thoughts at least would be to break the window and get on up out of there. And she didn't do that. And I have to ask, I mean, why not? I know that may not cross the mind of a child, but as an adult, I would think at some point you would say, let me break this window. So why didn't she say that? Now, I don't know her mental capacity, but again, they found her dead on October the 7th.
Miss Nance's body was discovered by an officer who was walking through the parking lot on October 7th. The officer noticed shoes next to the van and approached, discovering Miss Nance's body inside.
Okay, so another officer found her body, and they recognized some shoes outside this van. And so then I was wondering, I'm like, did she take off her shoes before getting into the van, or maybe did she throw her shoes outside the van thinking that would cause a, make some noise for somebody to realize that she's in there? I mean, I'm really wanting to know how her shoes ended up outside that van, So then the question remains, how did she die? What happened inside that van? And, and I'm going to be honest, at first, I'm thinking like, did she hit her head on something? What happened? And it's hard to really say that because we don't know what the inside looked like. So I don't know if there was anything in there to cause injury to her. But when we got the preliminary autopsy results, it said that there was no signs of trauma or foul play. That means there's no trauma to her body. And so my thought process is this, if it's something not on the outside, then it's got to be something on the inside.
So we will have our own private autopsy in the next few days. Our sweet Christina is dead, and they can't give us an answer.
Christina's family want their own autopsy done, and that is their right. They can do that. They did tell us it was going to take about 4 to 6 weeks for the toxicology reports to come back. Because, like I said, if they didn't find anything on the outside, that means whatever happened to her, killed her, happened on the inside. And then we got this little bit of information right here, and it said that Christina was known to the department. Officials said that members of the crisis intervention team, which helps treat people with mental illness, had provided her unspecified resources in the past. So it sounds like something mentally was going on with her. And so it made me think about medicine, because we know she was in that van for 3 days alive. I'm wondering if there was some medicine that needed to be taken maybe daily, and she went 3 days without it. Is that what killed her? Now, I get that the family want answers. Hell, I want answers too. I want to know how she died in there. But I think we're not going to get those answers until we get the toxicology report back. I mean, I'm just being honest. And if that footage didn't show nobody else going into that van while she was in there. That means she died in there alone. And yeah, they need to find out what happened to her. You know, but one of the things I want my people to understand is that a lot of times, because I feel like people went into an uproar because, for one, Christina's black, and that she ended up in a police van at all places, a police van, dead. So people, yeah, that was a game changer. But you have to understand that sometimes things that happen to our people is not always the fault of the police or someone else. You understand what I'm saying?
Like, I was very confused. Like I'm thinking y'all calling us down, you know, to show us some footage. You know, I was thinking it was gonna be clear, everything was gonna be clear. You got, get what I'm saying? There was gonna be some type of clear indication, you know what I'm saying, of my sister being, you know, of how she died, and there wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, I know that her family is gonna have a hard time wrapping their mind around this. And like I said, if there was no one in that van with her, then, like I said, we're going to have to wait on the toxicology reports. And what I need y'all to understand is that mental illness is real out here. You know, and if that was her on the footage moving around in that parking lot like that, clearly something was wrong. She needed help. Okay? And again, I know it's going to be hard for her family to wrap their minds around this. But all I can say is, man, we gotta keep checking on our people. Especially if we know mentally they're not always right. We gotta check on them. And I don't know what her family wants the outcome to be or feel the outcome should be. I don't think it's gonna be what they want. Because the only thing that I feel like they're going to be able to get the police with is the fact that the doors was unlocked. It says it right here in this article. The police admitted that Christina should have never been able to get into that van in the first place. It said that the department policy requires that police vehicles remain locked. And it wasn't locked. She got in there. So it wasn't locked. And they admitted that.
It is the policy to keep vans locked. To keep all city vehicles should remain locked anytime they're not in use or occupied.
Yeah, got 'em.
So make the news, nigga, and watch what happens. If you make it over here on this channel, nigga, we on your ass. Okay.